pètè àrán orí adáran ń pètè àtijọba bàbá wa jọba tán ọgbọ́n àti lò ó òye àti lò ó orí ọ̀fẹ́ àti lò ó báwo la ṣe ní í sí. Now mọ̀ ń bọ̀ o. Network yóò dáa tó rárá pápápá nǹkan tí Ayanwuyi tó kọ́kọ́ fi síta ó ti consult Aláàfin lẹ́yìn tó parí documentary tó fẹ́ ṣe kó tó di pé bóyá Aláàfin sọ pé kò gbọdọ̀ gbé jáde ọ̀ṣọ́ tó fi di pé wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní dúnkokò mọ́ra wọ́n pa ọ́ èmi ò gbọ́ rí o gbà pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni o ṣùgbọ́n gẹ́gẹ́ bí nǹkan tí Ayanwuyi fi bí yìí ó ní Ayankola Ayanwuyi tẹ́ bá wo Twitter ẹ̀ ìyẹn Kola Ayanwuyi ẹ máa rí mbẹ̀ ó ní in this age and time a Yoruba king said he will find me and nothing will happen. Now lẹ́tà tó kọ sálàfin nìyí lọ́wọ́ mi ẹ̀já sáré yẹ̀ wò Thursday March 26, 2026 lẹ́tà ẹ̀ dín Ayankola Ayanwuyi wà ń bẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ìlú tó gbé sẹ́gbẹ́ kan our ref DUN-A001-2026-0016 His Imperial Majesty Ikú Bàbá Yèyé Ọba Abímbọ́lá Òwúadé 1 Alaafin of Oyo Ààfin Ọ̀yọ́ Nigeria Your Imperial Majesty notification of documentary screening The Throne of Alaafin Oyo. I write to introduce myself and to respectfully inform Your Majesty of my documentary film The Throne of Alaafin Oyo. My name is Ayankola Ayanwuyi, a cultural documentary filmmaker and the executive director of Dondon Center, and an initiative dedicated to the documentation, preservation and promotion of Yoruba traditions and cultural heritage. The Throne of Alaafin Oyo is a 45-minute documentary that explores the transition of the reign of Oba Lamidi Adeyemi III to Your Majesty's ascension. The film examines the kingship process, traditional rights and ancestral lineage that define the institution of the Alaafin within Yoruba history. The documentary is scheduled for physical screenings in April 2026 across Lagos, Ibadan, Oyo, and Ogbomoso, given the cultural and historical significance of the Alaafin story. I consider it important to formally inform Your Majesty of this work. This project is undertaken with respect for Oyo and its enduring place in Yoruba civilization. Thank you for Your Majesty's time and consideration. Yours faithfully, signature, Ayankola Ayanwuyi, Executive Director, Dondon Center. So, wọ́n dẹ̀ gbà Aláàfin Ọ̀yọ́ ní 27 March 2026. Stamp wọn lélẹ́yìí, Office of the Alaafin of Oyo, signed. Stamp culture ambassador to Alaafin of Oyo, date 27/03 2026. So ó lélẹ́yìí o. Now lẹ́yìn ẹ̀ ní Ayankola Ayanwuyi ló wá fi àtẹ̀jáde yìí síta. The Throne of Alaafin of Oyo births in Lagos. Last Saturday, cultural advocates, historians and lovers of Yoruba history gathered at the private viewing of the Throne of Alaafin Oyo at the Jane Randu Center of Yoruba Culture and History, Unikan, Lagos. It was also an interactive moment where many learned more about the most storied throne of Oromia, which belongs to the Yoruba people. The 45-minute documentary by Ayankola Ayanwuyi is dedicated to the memory of Adebayo Faliti, 1921 to 2017, whose life's work preserved and projected Yoruba culture and language through literature and modern media. The film is an attempt to engage the depth of the Alaafin institution beyond the coronation ceremony. Among guests at the premiere were Princess Folashade Adeyemi, the first daughter of the late Alaafin Adeyemi III, who represented Oba Adeyemi Royal Dynasty, Olori Olamiji Pierce from Oyotunji, the Yoruba Kingdom in South Carolina, USA, Crown Prince Omalolu Prince Adebimpe Ladigbolu, who represented the Ladigbolu royal family, and Prince Adebayo Onishile, who represented one of the royal families from the old Oyo Empire. Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, is next to watch the throne of Alaafin of Oyo on Thursday, April 16, at the Institute of African Studies, University of Ibadan. Speaking at the post-screening of the documentary, Ayanwuyi described the documentary as an educational and archival work, which focuses on the significance of the throne of the Alaafin of Oyo within Yoruba civilization, using the recent transition as a lens to explore continuity, legitimacy, and cultural meaning. He explained that the film is not just about the emergence of a new Alaafin and not limited to an anniversary moment. And I quote, "It is about situating that transition within a broader historical and cultural context to help people understand what the throne represents beyond the present. He said, "The throne of Alaafin of Oyo is an independent project, fully self-funded and produced under the Center, which operates as non-profit cultural organization." He noted that the project, which took him 1 year to complete, was purely driven by cultural responsibility and the need to document history. He said, and I quote, "I have not met Iku Baba Yeye, Alaafin Abimbola Owade I, and I do not have any direct relationship with the palace. In fact, we formally wrote to notify the palace about the documentary and its screening, but we have not received a response up to this point." He added, stating that there were key figures they intended to include in the narrative but could not reach. If, however, identified funding as one major constraint that plowed the project. Hence, it was financed personally, and the center operates within institutional funding. This limits the scale and speed at which it could work. According to him, other constraint was that many people still do not fully understand the urgency of cultural documentation and preservation, which made access difficult. On the seeming gaps in the documentary, Ayanwuyi said, and I quote, "There are indeed many layers to the history and structure of the Alaafin institution, including questions around lineage, transitions, and internal dynamics. However, this documentary does not attempt to exhaust all historical debates. It is a focused work with clear boundaries. Some of these issues require deeper, more extensive research and possibly stand-alone projects. It is important not to oversimplify or speculate on sensitive historical matters without sufficient depth. In spite of this, the production features some credible sources such as Professor Akanda, a renowned historian from Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Adediwura Owade, Magaji of Oyo, Wasiu Bolaji, Kudefo Alaafin, Sangoleke Ojelabi, Oyedemi Oyelowo, and Chief Sulaiman Aremu Ayelara, aka Ajobiewe, a renowned Nigeria Yoruba oral poet, chanter, and actor. So, nǹkan tí Ayankola Ayanwuyi tó fi ilẹ̀ tó fi ìtànù Ayankola Ayanwuyi tó fi ìtànù, but unfortunately ńgbà tí kìnìún bẹ̀rẹ̀ n tó tún gbé ìtàlélẹ̀ yìí, event postponed, that is ilé ìtọ́ yẹ kó wáyé nílùú Ìbàdàn tó yẹ kó tẹ̀síwájú ọkọ̀ the throne of Alaafin documentary screening Thursday, April 16, 4 p.m. Draper's Hall, Institute of African Studies, University of Ibadan. Wọ́n ti gbégi lé event postponed. So now níbi ló ti wá kọ́ gàdàgbàgàdàgbà, Alaafin himself threatened he will kill me and nothing will happen because I made a film promoting the throne of his forebears. Ẹnìkan dàbí ó ní I feel bad about this. Alaafin should surround himself with progressive people. This is really bad. What's wrong with this king? To think we've been supporting him, taking all this insult only for him to disappoint us. I'm really distraught. So, Ayankola Ayanwuyi wá tún dàbí, I regret all I have been saying in defense of Oyo. And he was like, henceforth, it's hand off for me. Let Oyo fight our battles alone. So, now, bẹ́ẹ̀ bá wá wò ó dáadáa, ẹ rí i pé níbi ló ti wá sọ pé in this age and time, a Yoruba king said he will paying me and nothing will happen. So lọ́dọ̀ mi allegation ni, ṣùgbọ́n kì í ṣe allegation kékeré because ìgbà táwọn èèyàn sẹ́ndì kìíní ìsinmi tí mo ní mi ò ní sọ̀rọ̀ nípa rẹ̀, wọ́n ń rán mi létí pé ṣe mo rántí bàbá ọba Ọ̀yọ́túnjí olóyè olóògbé Lukman Aronfale pé bí gbogbo wa ò sì sọ̀rọ̀ lélẹ́yìí tó fi rí bẹ́ẹ̀ o pé ká má dá Ayankola Ayanwuyi ká má dáadáa kínní yìí n tó gbé mi wá lónìí nù o gbogbo ọmọ káàárọ̀ oòjíire nbo ni ká gbà nbo ni ká yà sí kíni lórí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí